Alright guys, the last video was about getting started in Weebly and adding your pages. You can see up here we have our welcome, home, school, and faith, and if I wanted to add something or get to those pages, all I have to do is click on them to get there. And I showed you a little bit about design in the last video where there's all these different themes to choose from. You can either even click here to build your own. But what I want to talk to you about in this video is what are called elements right here, okay? If you go to you say you really like the layout of this page, but you want to change the way it looks a little bit, you want to change the picture. Right here, if I go here, I can take this header, which is this picture, off, or I can change the look of it. So just as an example, if I click here, you can see how much smaller it gets. I have that much more room on my page. If you want to mess around with that, change that up, you certainly may. But let's say you don't like this picture, you want to add a different picture. You can go to what's called edit image here, and you have a couple cool options. You can actually change this picture, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to go to edit image, and I'm going to add an image. And if you've got one saved on your computer, like in your folder, you can upload it. You can go here and search for photos. So let's say I want to find a cross. Now, when you hit search, it's going to come up in these professional photos right here. And if you take note, all of these professional photos would cost you $5. But if you go right here to free photos, these are all pictures that you are allowed to use. You don't have to do a works cited, anything like that. You are more than welcome to use them, but yes, you may have to look a little bit harder. That's one way to get pictures. The other thing that you can do is you can add by image URL, okay? So let's say you've done your safe Google image search and you find the picture of this cross. Now you're going to have to, when you do your image search, you're going to have to click on the picture to bring you to the website itself like this. You shouldn't have a bunch of pictures, but if I right click on this picture, you'll see right here it says copy image URL. If I click on that and then I go back to my web page and I right click and paste and hit insert, you can see that it's added that picture. Now, you might have to do some cropping, changing. There's different things that you can do. They aren't all going to fit nicely, but that's how you add pictures and do different things. So, and you can see here, you can add, if you want to add another image, you can add another image. If I wanted to go here, I could say, I could click in this box and I could say Jesus has saved me, and I can hit OK, and I can move this around, I can move this around. So there's endless things that you can do with your header. You can do a background. I want to get, let's just use red for right now. I can do that. Now there's a new feature. This is the first time I've ever used it that's really cool. That's called a slideshow. If I click here, I can save this slide, and then it will also let me, oops, sorry, I want to go to slideshow. So here's one of my headers. I can add a slide and do it all over, and what's going to happen is when somebody comes to this page, the headers that you've made will scroll across. You can have 4 or 5 different things. So that might be something that you want to play around with. But when you're done with that, go ahead and hit save. Now, you have to be careful, okay? When you hit save, if you hit to save to all pages, that means your welcome, your home, your school, and your faith will all have this header. If you want it on only one page or only selected pages, you're going to want to choose these. So I want to save it to only this page, and here I am back at the beginning. Okay, now I have taken almost the whole 5 minutes to show you just headers, and there's way more to do on Weebly and things that you can do. So I'm actually going to do that in the next video, but that's how you get started with headers.